Hi, I'm Brittany King.
And I'm Lisset King, and welcome to Honest Feedback. We are a podcast here for you. We're here to be your homies, your friends, a different perspective on a question you may have. Feel free to reach out to us. That's what we're here for. And my lovely co-host, Goddess Brittany King, is a pleasure priestess. She helps women move from numb to embodied using sensual movement and sacred ritual.
Yes, I love the little for emphasis. Yes, she knows. We keep it real juicy over here. And my co-host, are we? Also, my roommate.
Also, your wife? Yeah.
My legal partner.
Yeah.
Lisset King is an emotional ninja. She is a trainer and master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, mental emotional release, and hypnotherapy. She is helping people change their lives on the daily. It's transformative. It's all the things.
Yeah. Come get your life changed, y'all.
Yes. Yes. I feel like the portal, that's what we call our home. It has a lot of transformation energy, and like you come here and you don't leave the same.
Yeah, I know. There's been people that have not been able to enter our space.
Yes.
You got to come correct in the portal.
You do. That's a whole other episode, but yeah. Greeting. Ask us about it.
Yeah, for sure. And babe, what are we talking about today?
Oh my gosh. I am thrilled to get into today's topic. It is something that is so near and dear to my heart, and I feel it is so important. We are talking about your intuition. What is it? How do you know if it's your intuition? What it be like? What it sound like?
How do we communicate with it?
Yes. What has been your relationship with your intuition?
Oh, well, it's been a bit of a character arc, hero's journey, you may call it.
Hero's journey. Yes.
Yes. As a child, I feel like every little light being born into the world, I felt super tapped into it. And then, life happens, society happens, other people's beliefs happen, and I tend to like shut it down, make it, turn the volume down significantly. And my journey back to it has been through my work and creating that connection with my unconscious mind.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah. How about yours?
Yeah, I resonate with what you're saying of feeling like tamped down as a little light in the world of like, you don't know, and like you should look to the outside, and like there's like a lot of like, oh, there's female intuition, but like don't listen to it. And it's like, I don't know, I just be knowing.
Yeah.
I just be knowing. I have no rationale.
knowing.
I just know, and then being told to not listen to that. So for me, it was a really big disassociative time of my life. I would say the majority of it, and it was sensual movement and pole dancing that really got me back into my body, and somatic exercises that helped me connect with myself and my intuition. So I am just so excited to talk about this today.
Yeah. And also, should we tell the people? Our Portland peeps, we have an extra surprise.
Extra special. It's the universe. She's the excellent planner, because we didn't even have this question when I was planning this, but here we all are. If this conversation about intuition sparks some curiosity, starts some joy for you, there is an opportunity for you. A master class called Trust Your Pussy, led by yours truly. It is a deep dive into your intuition and pleasure, and it is happening Sunday, November 26th. So if you are in the Portland area, click the link below, check it out. Spaces are limited because I love an intimate circle, and I would love for you to be a part of it.
Come through. Trusting our pussies is how we navigate the world.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So should we jump into this question?
Yes. Let us dive in.
Hi, guys. This is Melanie, and my question today is centered around intuition. I felt like in the past, I used to feel really in tune and trusting of my intuition, and I feel like maybe just in the last, some years, I've felt sometimes like I can't trust my intuition as much, because I think I have a problem distinguishing my emotions from my intuition, and I would love your perspective of what you feel like it feels like to really be in tune with your intuition versus emotions around something. Because like sometimes I've been really pleasantly surprised when I thought something wouldn't work out well, and then it did, or the opposite, where I thought it would work out, and it maybe didn't. So, this is also kind of a two-part question. So that's part one. The second part is that I do feel like I set a boundary for myself because I can't be everywhere at once. I feel really guilty about not being able to please everyone, and then kind of get wrapped into that, like, oh, well, did I make the right decision, kind of thing. And so I guess that it does also come back to just trusting what is right for myself. And I would love maybe any tips or advice you have about, I guess, when I do feel like I'm making what to say to myself to affirm that was the right choice for myself, and not get sucked into feeling guilty, for not being able to do everything at once. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and really appreciate your wisdom.
I gotta say, this caller's message was 22222.
Oh, angel numbers, y'all.
This is a fire. This question brought to you by God.
Yes! Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, Melanie, can I start?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I am so excited you brought this to the forefront, and thank you even for breaking up your question into two pieces. I would love to start with piece one.
Yes.
Like emotions versus intuition. And like we started off this conversation talking about, a lot of times we are very much in our body. We know we're really connected to our intuition, and somewhere along the way we get told, no, don't listen to that. Something outside of you knows better. And it can be quite traumatic. And by traumatic, I'm not saying it always has to be like a big T trauma, like that definitely can be part of it, but it could literally just be your parents being like, no, you just don't know better, or like, you don't know enough. And then you internalize like, oh, I don't know. And I don't know. And there's so much I don't know. And like, it becomes overwhelming. You're like, I guess they know best. And this is the space where we really get to work on empowering ourselves on like, you are the expert of you, and you are the person who knows what's best for you. One of the ways I've seen this really show up early in our lives is around food. We get socialized of like, okay, so this is the right things you're supposed to eat, and you should have this, and like other people are making your food decisions for you for a very long time. And so we don't always know how to trust what our body wants and what our body needs. Like I remember growing up, I hated milk. I hated the smell. I hated the taste. And I remember being punished at a summer camp because I wouldn't drink this milk. And I was sitting there for like hours because they were like, you can't leave the table until you finish this milk. Low-key child abuse. But it was just like, always this thing of like, you have to drink your milk. But like, my truth is, I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
My body was like, it's a no. Stop drinking this.
Yeah.
And people kept forcing me to ingest it. And so then it was constantly overriding my body. And like, that was one of like a very potent traumatic experience that happened over years, where it was just like, I don't know how to trust myself because other people are saying this is good for you, but it's literally making me sick. And I don't know how to square that circle.
Yeah, you make a really valid point. There's so many things that can happen throughout our childhood, or as Melanie said, it's been more recent in the past few years. So I would ask you, what happened when you started doubting your intuition? Did you perhaps make a choice, from listening to other people, or you made a decision and you got excited about that decision and you got let down by that decision? All these things can, like, a major event can cause a big like self-doubt. And so, I'm big on, let's find that root, girl. Where did it happen? Where did it start? And giving yourself the opportunity to just forgive that part of you. Like, forgive the part of you that made a mistake. Like, mistakes are for us. There is no failure, only feedback. So anything that did happen that perhaps was against what you wanted, like, give yourself a moment to forgive that part of you that, needed to learn a lesson in that moment. And then as far as like how to move into listening to your intuition. Do you want to touch on that?
I do. Before we jump into that, I want to just add a little extra fairy dust on what you just spoke to.
Yeah.
Because yes, there is the part of us that it's I need reflection and where did I perhaps made a mistake. And also, I'm very firmly in the camp of there are no mistakes.
Yeah,
like she
absolutely.
said, there's no failure, only feedback.
Yeah.
So if we live with the mantra, and this is something Lisset and I use all the time, everything is always working out for me.
Yeah.
Everything is always working out for Brittany. Everything is always working out for the Kings. Everything is always working out for Melanie.
Yes.
So whether or not I made a decision and I trusted that decision, knowing that perhaps there is bigger, there is more to the picture than I was able to see in that moment.
Yes.
And so it's not necessarily I shouldn't listen to my intuition. Perhaps you listened to your intuition and there was a lesson you needed to learn in there, which is the point Lisset was making. And also, perhaps there's something bigger happening in the field that we can't even see it all yet. So holding on to that vision of if everything's happening for me, then how is this for me? How was this the right choice for me? I may not be able to see it now, but even just holding that vibrational space for answers to come through is gems on gems on gems.
Yeah.
And so to dive further into intuition versus emotions. And I love this because once I heard this, I was just ooh, that's true. So your intuition is that still, small voice. There is a stillness to intuition. And I would say the opposite of that intuition might be the voice of the ego. And it's talking to you. It has arguments. It has it's the best lawyer you've ever seen for any side. And it is just well, this is the reason why. And I have exhibits A through C. And we have this sub document and this is the reason why. And da 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 da. So it's always trying to convince you of a thing. And then your intuition is just that one. Over there.
Yeah.
Go there. And it's so there's no convincing, there's no push from it. And we're just we live in a pretty masculine based world where it's there needs to be logic and reason for why you made this decision. And I teach from the divine feminine where fuck a reason. Do you have a feeling? Do you have a feeling that's that one?
Yeah.
Because I would treat you and empower you of how do you build a relationship with that muscle where you can trust that feeling. And emotions are always giving us information. So I wouldn't say your emotions are wrong or not giving you information. I would be, how are you translating them? Are you translating your emotions through rationale and all these different filters? Or is the emotion letting you know something? What are your thoughts, Bea?
Yeah, and the thing is that sometimes our intuition gives us an answer we don't want to hear.
Oh,
And the road might be harder. And it's girl, you can go that way. You should go that way. And you're ooh, that way sounds hard. or that way sounds complicated, or that way costs more money, or that way might involve me walking away from something that I'm comfortable with. And so that is when our, Brittany calls it ego, our brain, our chatter comes in, our baggage starts talking. It's well, maybe if we just stayed right here, or maybe if we didn't do that thing, then you would feel better and it would make it easier for you now. But easier now is not always in the highest good of what you truly want. And if you want something that's big and magnificent and you're going after, say a big goal or a big career or, a big relationship, those are the things that come with challenges, but they will be the challenges you're willing to go through. Life does not have challenges. No. But it's is this the kind of thing it's worth going into? Is this the kind of challenge I want to face? Is this the kind of challenge that I want to move into? And so your intuition doesn't care. They don't care. They don't care how hard it is. I'll speak into this with a story. So when I met Brittany, my soul said that one. Literally, intuition was absolutely still. It said that one. And I was okay, cool. I asked her out, and I asked her out 4 times. We have our cute meet.
Meet cute.
Our meet cute. We have our meet cute on Instagram, and it's a very detailed story, and yet when it said that one and I asked her out and then she kept like denying me, it took a bit of an ego death to receive all those reactions. And I remember that intuition coming up again and saying, hey, ask her out one more time. And my logic is like, man, she's already turned you down 3-4 times. And all I heard was one more no. What's one more no? And I was like, well, you make a good point. And it was that time that I asked her out that she said yes. But it was always right from the start. No matter how many no's I faced, it was right from the start. And so when you want something big, it'll say what you need to do. And you could deny it as many times as you want, but you'll keep coming back to that answer.
Yes.
When the chatter shuts down, when you quiet your mind and you say, I like to talk directly to my unconscious mind. I like to say, unconscious mind, give me the answer. Or higher self, give me the answer. Like, what do I need to do here? And an answer always comes. Now, if I want to take that answer, that's a totally different story.
Yes. I want to speak into like the feeling the no's. Like when you think there's a no, but your soul felt a thing. So I was working in production and somehow it came into my path of like, I'm going to work at BuzzFeed. Like, it was just like, I wasn't even like a real BuzzFeed fan. In full transparency, I kind of thought of it as the McDonald's of the internet. And that was how I felt. But I remember I was living in New York. I was shooting my first web series and like something came across my path where it was just like, you're gonna work there. And there was like an application for some kind of internship. It was like in 2 days, my computer was really broken. I don't know. It was a whole, but I was like, I'm gonna apply. And I didn't get the job. But I was just like, doesn't matter. I know I'm going to work there. I just refused to accept the no because I was just like, well, I know I'm gonna work here. So at some point I am. And a year later, an opportunity presented itself, and now all of a sudden I knew someone who worked there who was able to help me and da-da-da-da. And then all of a sudden I got the opportunity that I was calling in. And it was such a bigger opportunity than I even thought possible. I mean, like, this podcast wouldn't even exist had I not worked there. But even deeper than that, that is where I met my first pole dancing mentor. Who brought me to the sensual movement space, which is the foundation of the work that I do today. Like, it was just like, my soul was like, you are going to get to that pole dancing studio. And it had been circling in my field for years. And I kept not doing it. So I just trusting the space of like, your intuition is not wrong. It's, are we listening to it? And when the external world is showing us things that may not be in alignment or not what our intuition told us, what are we taking that information to mean? So a lot of times we're taking that outside information as like, well, this must be more true than this internal feeling that I have. And I say, nah, boo. Nah.
Yeah. Gosh, we could talk about this all day.
I know. Well, buckle in, folks. I have so many things to say.
This is why you're doing a 3-hour masterclass.
This is exactly why.
Yeah. I really also want to continue to riff on that, is that your intuition may not be showing you the full path. Sometimes we're like, BuzzFeed? Why BuzzFeed? You know, and it's not about that. It's not going to show you the full path. Knowing the full path, that's lame. All you need is the next step.
Yes.
All you need is the next step. And so, Melanie, what I'm asking you to do is practice building that relationship. Practice building that relationship with your intuition, because she's not, asleep. She's just taking a little nap, like you're building that relationship with her, and your body has idiosyncratic movements to speak to you. I know you wanted to speak on this.
Yes. So one of the things that is so powerful is that our body doesn't lie to us. Our body will always tell us the truth. There's so much research about this, and you can dive into all the things. But our bodies don't lie to us, and our bodies are holding the truth. So one of the ancient arts that you can use to tap into your body and actually hear your intuition is working with pendulums. So a pendulum is literally just like a rock on a string. So I am wearing one. It's a necklace that I wear all the time. It is moonstone, and it's in this little beautiful cage, and you can use it as a pendulum. I love this because it is divine feminine energy. This is my other pendulum. It's literally a crystal on a string. This one is adventuring, and I love adventuring because it literally means truth. That's how I have it coded in my head. So for me, I'm like, let me follow my truth stone. And the way that pendulums work is it literally is tapping into the frequency of your vibration. So I know some of you are listening, so I'm going to talk through what I'm doing. And if you are watching, you can watch. So how you use a pendulum, maybe do it on this side. I haven't done it with my non-dominant hand.
Oh, it still works.
I know. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to talk to the pendulum directly. Show me yes. So I am asking it to show me yes. And it's doing circles to the right. Show me louder. You can talk to the pendulum like that. Show me louder. So now the circles have gotten bigger. Okay. Thank you. Show me no. No. It's a straight up and down.
Away from you and back and forth. Yeah.
So that's a no. My name is Brittany. Oh, there we go. It's making a circle. Because my name is Brittany. My name is Lisset. It's doing the no.
Yeah.
My name is Lisset. Show me louder. It's getting louder with that no because it's not my name.
Yeah.
So this is an ancient tool that literally it literally is picking up on your most minute frequencies of like your truth. And so I love carrying pendulums with me. If I've ever felt like dysregulated or I'm not sure, I'm not sure if I can find my intuition in this moment. Get your pendulum out, ladies. Get your pendulum out. Well, people, get your pendulum out, and you can use a pendulum. And pendulums are just part of it. You want to talk more about how to use your body as a pendulum?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I can geek out about this all day.
Yeah.
So if you're listening right now and you're in the space where you can stand up, I'm going to invite you to stand up. And if you're standing, what I would say is just stand as still as you could, and then ask your body to show you a yes. And your body will either it will do some sort of sway. It'll go front and back. It might do a little circle. It might go left and right. And then take a moment to pause and then say, show me a no. And it'll give you a slightly different movement. And you can ask it a question. You can start with the name, like, I am this person, and it'll say no. Or you can ask it, should I sign this contract? You know, like those are ways you could do this. And I got to give a shout out to my friend Lynn. I think she would call it intuitive coin flip. And she would say, all right, heads is yes and tails is no. And she would pretend to flip a coin or actually flip a coin and then put her hand down on it. And whatever you want it to be, that's your answer.
Yeah.
That's your answer. Like, you don't even look at the coin. You just go, oh, yeah. What I want is a yes. Like, what my heart of hearts wants a yes. And you're just psyching yourself out that you don't know. So these are just some tools that you can play with to talk to your intuition.
Yes. And when you're doing these kind of exercises, yes and no questions yield the best results. So like when I was saying, this is my name, it's like, that's a yes or no question, as opposed to like, what is the secret of the moon? That's harder for the pendulum to tell you. You might need a Ouija board for that. Something with some spelling. But like yes and no questions, and allow yourself to be with. Because sometimes you'll be like, should I sign this contract? You'll be like, no. And you'll be like, I have all the reason in the world to say to this. And I remember, I just recently had a situation. A new friend invited me to go to the Pink concert. And I was like, in the height of the excitement, it was a new friend and I wanted to hang out with them. I'm like, yes. And then when they started sharing me more details, it was like, it's in this place. It's going to be like a 3-hour drive. We're going to spend the night, all these things. And I was just like, you know what? I'm a yes to you, but a no to this experience. And like, that was my own work to like share that with her. Come to find out, but it was like intuitive. It was like, no, my soul was like, don't go to this. Yeah. That canceled that specific venue day. That artist canceled the concert.
Yeah.
We would have been all in, at least $1,000 for this thing. And like, she's like, I'm hoping to reschedule, da, 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 da. But like that show got canceled. I didn't know the fullness of the why. I was just like, it just feels like a no. Like I want to hang out with her, but like, it's a no. That show is not happening.
Yeah, and that actually touches to the second part of her question.
Yes.
Yeah, of like, how do you, with boundaries and not pleasing everyone.
Yes.
And that is just a beautiful way to say is like, I'm a yes to you, but I'm a no to this situation. Like, you can't please everyone. I know, shocker, right? You cannot please everyone. And so what I want to talk about that as far as, making that indecision or that decision or indecision with the person is the choice that you make is the best choice. So just surrender to your choice. I know when there's Halloween's coming up. And there are so many offers on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's a potluck. There's a party that we won the contest at last year. There's a firewalk that day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot all of those.
All those things are on the same day. And really just taking a moment to sit and go, which one feels the best for me right now? And there was an instant yes to one of those invitations, and the other ones are like, oh yeah, I'll kind of feel into it. And you just have to be okay. You have to be okay with your answer and be okay with your choice. And if you love hanging out with that person, make another plan with them and know that there will be more opportunities to hang out with them.
I like to introduce the concept of JOMO, the joy of missing out. Let's get comfortable with it, y'all. I too used to be someone who used to be like, well, I want to show up for everyone. And like, this is when I was living in LA. I'd be driving all over the city from Venice to Hollywood. It's so-and-so's birthday and I can't not show up for them.
But we don't go to the Valley.
I wasn't going there, but like, they dare not ask me there. But like, let's get comfortable with like, what is your truth? What's your truth of like, what do you actually want to do? And then get behind your choice. So when you're talking about this guilt, I just heard this fairly recently. So guilt is a replaying of the situation because you didn't get the lesson.
I love that.
I know, right?
Damn.
I know. I'm gonna find who shared that with me because I want to give credit. But like, guilt is replaying. I didn't get the lesson, which is why you keep going back in your head, being like, "What is it? What is it? What is it?" But once you get the lesson, it stops. So I'm asking you, what's the lesson? Where are you feeling the guilt? Is it I'm not honoring myself because I'm worried about people pleasing to everybody else? I went against what I actually wanted to do and now I'm unhappy. I'm chasing things. Like, you're the one who knows what the thing is that is causing you the guilt. These are just some of the things that have popped off for myself. And so that's why I offer them into the space. But how do you get to the place where you're pleasing yourself first and then feel good about your choice? Because there will always be more options. Yeah. There will always be more options.
Yeah. So I can go deeper on that. I had gotten back from Peru this summer and I was feeling super tender. It was a very deep journey down there. And I was feeling really tender. And, a lot of people wanted to hang out and like, I want to hear about your trip or I want to do this and all that. And that week that I came back, I just didn't want to see anyone. And I never regretted saying yes to me and saying no to other people. Like, I never, not once regretted that. But one time I wanted to go hang out with you and I was like, oh, well, I miss you and you're going to a party. And I went to this barbecue. Oh, I ate everything that made me so sick. Oh, yeah. And I got into a conversation I didn't want to be in. And I remember just pausing and looking at Brittany and going, I am complete with this experience. And bless her, she was like, yeah, let's go. She followed along with me. But
that conversation was not serving.
Yeah. And the objective is how do we take a pause and breathe and go, what do I need at the deepest level? What do I need because, I got respect and love for my introverts, my extroverts, my ambivert babies. I'm a bit of an ambivert, leaning on introvert, and mostly I've been leaning on staying in. Like, I have no problem these days just saying no to people and just being like, I love you, keep me on the invite list for sure, because one day I'm going to say yes. And I, regretfully declined this time. What?
I just love it. I love it. So recently we sent out wedding invitations and it's like, joyfully accept, regretfully decline. So just that specific language of like, yeah, regretfully decline. I mean, this is something that I teach to my clients. So listen up. And it's called Ask Your Pussy.
Yeah.
This can apply to however your gender represents, but my experience of my pussy, this is creation energy, source energy. I have found my deepest pulse of me connecting to myself. So if you have a different space in your body where you feel deeply like, I feel my truth so strongly, then ask that part of yourself. But I go, ask your pussy, what do you want? And the answers, they're quick.
Yeah.
They're quick. I was with a client and a friend. We were at the ice cream place and she was trying all the different ice creams and like, I'm not sure. And then she's asking the lady, well, which ones do you think go best? And da-da-da. And I go, girl, ask your pussy. She was like, bananas, Foster, chocolate something. These were not even flavors she had tried. Not even flavors that she had tried. She put them together. Was it an unholy combination? It was so good. That was her pussy. Her pussy fucking knew.
Yeah.
Fucking knew. So this is where I'm like, ask your pussy, because the answers that come from your intuition, it's not the wave. It's not like, maybe. It's like, fucking that one.
Yeah.
Start small. What do I want to eat? Look on the menu. What do I want? It'll be like, eggplant. Look for it.
Yeah.
This. Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel like pussy is so universal.
Yeah.
Because I've done that with men. I'm like, "What? Trust your pussy," and they come up with an answer, and I'm like, "Yes."
They know the source.
It doesn't matter what kind of body you were born with. You can always ask your pussy.
She fucking knows. She's here for the pleasure. She's here for the joy and the joy. Y'all, this is what the masterclass is like.
Your pussy don't lie.
Yes.
Who does she get wet for?
Yes.
Because she will not produce an inkling of liquid for the wrong person.
I know.
Yep. We're going down a rabbit hole.
I know. But yeah, this is, we can just jam on this all day, but I feel like,
yeah.
Do you have any lasting thoughts that you want to leave Melanie with?
Absolutely. So Melanie, I love your heart and your spirit. I love that you're someone who wants to please everyone. One of my favorite teachers, Dr. John DeMartini, always says, I'd rather have the whole world against me than my own soul. And that, I carry that with me. And that makes me really tap into what is it that my soul wants? What is it that my higher self wants? And you will never regret going with that choice. And it's a practice. It's a practice reactivating that relationship to yourself and your intuition. And I'm excited for you to take that journey and let us know how it goes.
Yes, I will leave you with one last story. It was February 29th, 2020, Leap Day. And Lisset and I, we'd been engaged for like a few months, and we were like, all right, let's get clear on what we want our marriage to be. And then we'll plan a wedding ceremony from that place. And so we were like, okay, we're going to have a special day. Leap Day feels special. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't know how things were coming together. We didn't know where we were doing this until the day before. And then a friend was like, I have these great hotel suites. I work for hotels. Like, you can stay with us. And so we rented a hotel suite. We were like, got intentional. We made a whole ritual for the day, and we spent the day laughing and playing and crying and getting clear on what we wanted our marriage to look like. And then Lisset got a download.
Yeah, clear as day. It was like the message got shot in my head from above, and it said, you should get married today. And full disclosure, we were on mushrooms.
Yeah. That was a ritual ceremony.
Yes, that was a ritual ceremony. And I remember going, we're on mushrooms. Let's not make any rash decisions. And I just hear, no, today is a portal. You must jump through it. And I'm like, damn, My higher self is using words like portal and jump through it. So I'm gonna repeat this message to Brittany, and I said, babe, I got like a download that we should get married today. And she's like, yeah, I'd marry you today. So we called up our bestie. She's a real one, Alice Spitali. She went, got ordained online, came to our hotel and married us. And I shit you not, 2 weeks later, lockdown.
Oh, yeah. And the wedding we were tentatively planning was supposed to be in June of that year. Yeah. So it was just like us trusting our intuition, the download. Yeah. It opened up this whole magical world. Had we not gone on that trip, or had we not said yes to each other that day, I don't even know where our lives would have gone. Like, us getting married led to us taking a honeymoon trip, which led to us moving to Portland, which led
to being here right now today.
Yes.
You know, doing a podcast was a download. Like, oh yeah, we should really do a podcast, man. Everyone wants to talk to us to get answers.
It was an intuitive hit. We're doing a podcast. Do you want to do this podcast?
Yeah. And we're so happy we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So trust your intuition, trust your pussy, ask your pussy what's good.
Yeah, she knows.
She knows. Gosh, Melanie, thank you so much for putting this question in the field and letting us have the ability to like geek out. Like, I'm cutting us short because I was just like, there's 80 holes that I can go down into when we get into intuition and tapping in. And so if you are in the Portland area, I invite you to come to my masterclass, Trust Your Pussy, on November 26th. I would love to see you. And if you got something from this episode, if you're resonating, you're feeling connected, we would love for you to write us a review, to subscribe, to share it with a friend. This is how we grow our community, and this is how we spread the word. We are here for this podcast getting to every aligned soul that is needing it. And we could use your support with spreading the word.
And if you want to send us a question, give us a call at 971-895-4111 or slide into our DMs at Instagram. We are at Honest Feedback Podcast. And until we meet again, be honest with each other.
Bye.